Welcome to the recap video for DeFi Demo Night, Solana Deep Dive, hosted by Blockaday. My name is Christian. I'm the community manager for Blockaday, and I was the presenter for this event. We explored different decentralized finance applications on the Solana blockchain, and actually demonstrated how to use some of these apps, and how to employ a couple different yield farming strategies. We start with some terminology. What exactly is DeFi? DeFi is short for Decentralized Finance, and it refers to a collection of financial service applications that run on blockchain networks. Blockchain originally allowed for payments and the transfer of value to be done peer-to-peer over the internet, and DeFi takes that to the next level, where anyone with an internet connection can trade, borrow, and lend assets peer-to-peer without the need for third-party intermediaries like banks. A decentralized exchange, or DEX, is a blockchain-based decentralized application, or dApp for short. DEXs use smart contracts, or code stored on the blockchain, to allow users to trade digital assets, or tokens, in a decentralized manner. The beauty of this technology is that no matter who you are or where you are in the world, if you have an internet connection, you can access and use decentralized exchanges. Automated market makers are a DeFi innovation that allows users to trade directly with an automated computer program without needing to connect a buyer and a seller like in traditional finance. Traders using AMMs trade against a liquidity pool, which is essentially a crowdsourced pile of two different tokens used to facilitate trades between those tokens. In DeFi, the users provide liquidity by adding their tokens to these liquidity pools. There will always be an equal dollar value of each token in the pool, so if token A is worth $3,000 and token B is worth $1, then the ratio of A to B in the pool will be 1 to 3,000. Liquidity refers to how easily an asset can be bought or sold without affecting the current market price. More tokens in the pool equals more liquidity equals better prices for traders. These traders pay a transaction fee on each trade, which is given to the liquidity providers as a reward for lending their tokens to the pool. Yield farming is a process by which DeFi users stake or lend their tokens to earn rewards. This is similar to earning interest from a savings account and is used by many DeFi projects to incentivize users. Professional yield farmers will take these rewards to other DeFi platforms and stake them there for additional rewards, creating a multi-layered investment or yield farm in an attempt to maximize return on investment. In this event, we focus specifically on DeFi applications on the Solana blockchain. Solana is a public blockchain, meaning it is open and viewable and usable by everyone. It is a proof-of-stake blockchain, which we'll talk more about in a second. Solana supports smart contracts for applications such as DeFi and NFTs, and it has a native token, Sol. Solana is considered to be one of the fastest blockchains with a theoretical speed of 65,000 transactions per second, rivaling that of the Visa credit card network. Solana is also cheap. Individual transactions cost a fraction of a cent. Proof of work and proof of stake are called consensus mechanisms. We have these decentralized blockchain networks with no third party to verify the transactions, so this is how we do it. Proof of work is the mining mechanism that the Bitcoin network uses, and a very valid criticism of this is the high energy expenditure and the large carbon footprint. Solana, on the other hand, is a proof of stake blockchain, meaning that users stake or lock up their assets to become validators who verify transactions and keep the network secure. Validators receive rewards in the form of Sol, the native token of the Solana blockchain. Because of this, Solana is much more environmentally friendly than Bitcoin, with a fraction of the carbon footprint. And finally, before launching into the demo portion, a disclaimer that the content of this video is purely for educational purposes and should not be construed as financial advice. First, we looked at Phantom, a crypto wallet app built for Solana. Crypto wallets, or self-hosted wallets, are what we use to store and send tokens and to interact with the blockchain. With a crypto wallet, you are in full control of your funds. As long as you protect your password, no one else can access your wallet. This is in contrast to a bank account, where technically the bank has control of your assets. Many of us are lucky to live in a part of the world where we don't have to worry about having our accounts closed or our assets frozen or even being unable to open an account in the first place. But that is the sad reality for literally billions of people around the world. With crypto wallets, now all these people need is an internet connection and a smartphone, and they can participate in global finance. Phantom Wallet is an easy-to-use browser extension. In this first tab, you can see your total wallet balance and the balance for each token you own. You can also deposit tokens and send them to other wallets. This is the Collectibles tab. This wallet is currently empty, but if you had any NFTs, this is where they would be displayed. You can swap between two assets from right in the wallet for a small fee. And finally, recent activity shows previous transactions you have made. In this case, I received some SOL from another wallet. The first app that we used was Serum, the largest decentralized exchange on Solana. When you open the app and click Trade Now, we see this big list of applications. What's going on here? You can think of Serum as a back-end infrastructure that allows the decentralized trading of assets. These other apps are front-end software built on top of Serum, offering different user experiences. The Serum app that we used is Raydium, an automated market maker. When you first open Raydium, you see an order book interface, similar to what you might see on a centralized exchange. However, we are more interested in the swap feature, which gives us a more typical DeFi interface. Click on Connect in the top right to connect your Phantom wallet. You are now ready to start trading on Raydium. No need to create an account or provide any personal information whatsoever. To demonstrate the swap feature, we are going to trade our SOL for a token called Ray, which is the native token of the Raydium AMM. Input the amount you want to trade, then click Swap. Phantom Wallet will open up, prompting you to approve the transaction. It's that easy. If you open up Phantom, you can see that the wallet now holds two assets, SOL and Ray. The next thing we want to do is add our tokens to a liquidity pool. Click on Pools, and a list of pools will open up. In this interface, you can see the liquidity of each pool in dollars, along with transaction volume and yields. The yield is the percentage return on investment that you will earn per year as a reward for providing liquidity. Since we own both SOL and Ray, we want to add our tokens to the Ray SOL pool. Click Max to add your entire Ray balance. Remember that a liquidity pool contains an equal value of both tokens, so notice that the corresponding amount of SOL is automatically filled in. Click Supply and approve the transaction in Phantom. Scroll down to Liquidity and you can see your pool tokens, also known as LP tokens, which are essentially a receipt of your contribution to the pool. Now, we are going to set up our first yield farm. Click on Farms, and you will see a list of LP tokens that you can stake for additional rewards. The total APR is the percentage that you will earn per year. You can see that by staking Ray SOL LP, we earn the 6% in fees for providing liquidity, and an additional 38% in Ray tokens as an incentive for staking. Click the arrow on the right, then Stake LP, Confirm, and Approve in Phantom. Now, you will see your staked LP and your pending Ray rewards that have already started to accumulate. We can take this yield farm one step further. Click on Harvest to claim your rewards. You probably want to wait a bit for the rewards to accumulate, but for the purpose of this video, we claimed right away. After the transaction is approved and confirmed, go to Staking. Here, you can stake the Ray that you earn for an additional 19% paid out in Ray. Click on Stake Ray, Confirm, then Approve in Phantom. And that's it. Congratulations, you've set up your first yield farm. One thing to be aware of when providing liquidity is something called impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is beyond the scope of this video, but essentially, it's a risk that you are exposed to when providing liquidity for a pair of tokens whose values will fluctuate relative to each other. We can minimize impermanent loss by providing liquidity for token pairs that tend to move together. We will explore an example of this in our next yield farm. The next app we used is called Lido, which is a liquid staking solution. On Solana, technically anyone can stake their SOL to become a validator, but there are substantial hardware requirements that make it infeasible for many. To get around this, we can give our SOL to Lido, who stakes it on our behalf for a small fee. Typically, tokens are no longer usable once staked. However, Lido offers something called liquid staking, which allows us to stake our SOL and continue using it on other DeFi apps. When we stake SOL on Lido, we receive staked SOL in return, which is a wrapped token that we can use for additional yield farming. To stake on Lido, first connect your Phantom wallet. Enter the amount of SOL you want to stake and click Submit. After approving the transaction in Phantom, you will receive your staked SOL, which you can now see in your wallet. Now, let's go and earn some additional yield. The next app that we use is called Saber, which is a stablecoin and wrapped asset exchange. Stablecoins are crypto assets that are pegged to the value of another asset, usually the US dollar. Some examples are USDT and USDC, which are always equivalent to $1 US. Transactions done with stablecoins make up a large percentage of all crypto transactions, so a dedicated stablecoin exchange with lots of liquidity is essential for any DeFi ecosystem. Wrapped assets are tokens that represent another token, is worth the same amount as that token, and has additional utility, such as being able to be transferred to a different blockchain network. The staked SOL that we received from Lido is an example of a wrapped asset. Saber has a swap feature, where you can swap between different stablecoins and wrapped assets, but we are interested in the liquidity pools. Go to Pools and find the pool for staked SOL and SOL. Remember earlier when we were talking about impermanent loss? Well, if we provide liquidity to this pool, since the two assets are always worth approximately the same value, we are no longer exposed to the risk of impermanent loss. To add your assets to the pool, click Deposit. Enter the amount of each asset you want to add, click Confirm Deposit, then Approve in Phantom. You now have some LP tokens that you can stake for additional rewards. Scroll up and you will see a warning that you have unstaked LP tokens. Let's do something about that. Go to Farms, click on SOL, and then Stake. Click on your balance to add the max amount, and then click Deposit. Once you approve the transaction, you will start to earn staking rewards, paid out in SBR token, the native token of Saber. And just like that, you've set up a second yield farm. The final app we looked at was Solend, which is a decentralized lending and borrowing platform on Solana. In traditional finance, you can obtain loans based on your credit score. In crypto, however, there are no credit checks due to its anonymous nature. Therefore, we must provide some assets as collateral in order to borrow. This is an over-collateralized loan, and the amount we can borrow is always less than our provided collateral. Let's go over the columns in the Solend interface. LTV stands for loan to value, which is the percent of your collateral that you can borrow. For most of these assets, LTV is 75%, meaning if you lend $100 as collateral, you can borrow up to $75. Total supply is the total amount of that asset which has been lent to the platform by users. Total borrow is the amount of that supply that has been borrowed by users. Supply APY is the reward paid to lenders, and borrow APY is the cost of borrowing. Something interesting to note is these assets with a negative borrow APY. To incentivize users to use the platform, Solend pays out its native SLND token when you borrow certain assets. If you borrow SOL, for example, you pay 3.6% per year, but you earn 4.8% in Solend token. This means that depending on the future price of Solend, you can actually get paid to borrow, which is a very interesting concept. You can also take the assets that you borrow and re-lend them to the platform in order to increase your collateral and then borrow even more. You can repeat this process multiple times to maximize your returns. Just be careful about over-leveraging yourself. One more site we looked at is called DeFi Llama, which ranks DeFi platforms by TVL, or Total Value Locked. This is the total amount of assets staked in each platform. Here you can see the rankings of all the platforms we explored in this video, such as Serum, Raydium, and Saber. That brings this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be part of the Blockaday community, join our Discord and follow us on social media. Links in the description below. On behalf of the entire Blockaday team, thank you for watching the recap of our DeFi Demo Night Solana Deep Dive. See you next time.